Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. Happy last day of January. It's a balmy 6 degrees here in Vail this morning, and we have a great show in store for you. We're going to get you all set up to enjoy some of the great events for the week. Also, help you out with a little fashion and tell you what's going on with some great ways to improve your home and maybe that battle that you have with spending a lot of time in the altitude. It's all starting now on Vail Valley Live.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Trisha Swenson with Vail Valley Live. I'm coming to you live from the nice, cozy, warm studio here in Eagle Vale. Ashley, as we just saw, is out in Vail Village. We'll be checking in with her for the next hour. We'll be with you from 7:30 to around 8:30 today. And you can always chat with us if you're watching live on Facebook or also our new YouTube channel. Search Vail Valley Live, hit subscribe, and then you'll be alerted to when we're going to be coming on each and every morning. We're with you 7 days a week. And on the show today, as Ashley mentioned, winter fashion with Skea. We've got some shows coming up at the Villar, quite a few this week alone. And then altitude control technology. Wow, if you have trouble sleeping in this the high altitude, a lot of people do. This could be your solution to a well-rested night. And then we've got headlines, weather, events, activities, so much more. So make sure you stay here this morning for our show. And also, if you can't catch us all the way through 8:30, or if you're sleeping in throughout the week, you can always watch us on demand. We're on Roku, we're on Apple TV, Amazon Fire. We're also a podcast on Spotify in case you're out walking the dog this morning or getting some exercise in, some snowshoeing, some hiking up the mountain with the yak tracks. You can still keep tuned with what's happening. Consider us your concierge here in the Vail Valley. But let's get to the weather weather quickly before we go back out to Ashley. This weather and mountain report brought to you by the outlets at Silverthorne. And what we're seeing out in the weather world, cool temperatures. And looking down valley, it's even cooler than what Ashley's experiencing in Vail. We've got an inversion going on. So what that means is the cooler air is just hanging out a little bit longer. It's 5 below in Eagle right now. We're looking at Edwards, 0, and Avon, 6 degrees. And then, like Ashley mentioned, she's right around that 9, 10, 11, single digits, double digits. Here's a live look at our I-70 corridor, the Westvale roundabouts, and you can see the traffic moving pretty smoothly, not too much traffic out there today, and a little bit probably more eastbound traffic for anyone that is just driving to work this morning after spending the weekend up here. What a gorgeous weekend it was as well. Now, for snow in the forecast, here's what we can expect. We've got open snow saying we can maybe see that storm come in by Wednesday. 5 inches possible over at Beaver Creek, 4 inches possible over at Vail. But we'll let you know more about that when we get closer to the middle of the week. But for your Monday, sunny with a high in the upper 30s. We can see 38, all clear throughout the day. And we're going to see winds could be a little bit gusty. Winds as high as 30 miles per hour. And I saw that when I was driving in this morning, you could see the clouds and they had this kind of red hue to them. And it always reminds me of the saying, red skies at night, sailors delight. Red skies in morning, sailors take warning. So I thought to myself, hey, I wonder if it's going to be windy today because of what that indicates. And sure enough, yep, we could see those wind gusts coming in at 30 miles per hour. So just be careful about that. I think it's a good idea to always bring the neck gaiter because the wind chill factor, even though we're going to have a nice sunny day, you get in the shade, you get in the wind, it can make it feel a little bit more uncomfortable. So I would definitely bring a neck gaiter for today. And then on Vail Mountain, we're looking at just great conditions. I was out there with some friends on Saturday, and a few people were coming off of back injuries and knee injuries. So they said, Trisha, we just want to stick with the groomer. So what I did is I watched the show that morning, and I paid attention to the crawl at the bottom of the screen, and I picked out some great groomers for their ability level. And we've got so much terrain open, almost 100% on Vail Mountain, 25 out of 32 lifts. And really the lifts that aren't open are more like those little surface lifts. So pretty much you can get to where you want to go. I think Earl's lift back in Blue Sky Basin still is not open, but it doesn't really matter because you can still hit a lot of that terrain without having to take Earl's up. But over at Beaver Creek, similar situation. I know a lot of people have been making their way out to McCoy Park, which is the brand new 250-acre expansion. Kind of already was in the boundary of Beaver Creek. It's just that they started to utilize that bowl a little bit more. So we're 92% open at the Beeve, 24 out of 25 lifts for you, and 156 out of 169 trails open for you also. And you can ski from village to village to village. You can go from main Beaver Creek Mountain over to Bachelor Gulch, over to Arrowhead, and back. That was always really fun to do. I taught ski school years ago, and when I asked kids if they wanted to go on the adventure, and we would hit it all. And they really felt accomplished at the end of the day because they went so far out to the west and then back to the main mountain by the end of the day. Keep in mind those other areas like Arrowhead and Bachelor Gulch, those lifts close at 3:30. Beaver Creek closes at 4 on the main mountain. And then same thing for Vail. Vail runs 8:30 until 3:30. But the back bowls, Blue Sky Basin first, then the back bowls, and even Game Creek Bowl close earlier than that front side closing time. But let's take it out to Ashley. I wonder if she's been doing some jumping jacks or what she's been doing to stay warm. Oh, you're over in Lion's Head.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of like this. I've been doing a lot of swinging the arms to get the blood flowing through my hands because it is 6 degrees out here. And like you were saying with that inversion, when I passed through Walcott this morning, it was 5 below. So it's definitely not. I know we're going to see those warmer temperatures later, but it's not there just yet. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm swinging my arms.
Put another cup of coffee on, it's okay. I mean, I know we like to say go early and get the corduroy and get the groomers, but we can let the sun get a little higher in the sky for us as well. So hey Ashley, I finally had a chance to watch that Peekaboo Street interview or the documentary. So it's on Peacock, and depending on what, if you have Comcast cable. Oh, by the way, we're on channel 17 to Comcast cable. If you did not know. So I was like, do we have it? And we have it on our cable. So we watched it after those exciting football games last night, with all the surprise endings and ties and, we were able to just settle down and watch that. But really neat to see Peekaboo's career and history. My husband said, wow, I didn't really know that she had won all, the overall World Cup, the different things with the downhill and stuff, and Nagano and Lillehammer. So it's kind of cool if you want to get a little preview of just the Olympics and think about all that the athletes have to go through and trials and tribulations, injuries, that sort of thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, and I think it's so fascinating how, there's a lot of those like full circle moments in life, I feel like. And, Lindsey Vonn had a heavy hand in making this happen. And what's interesting, so I was just reading Lindsay's new book, and she talks about meeting Peekaboo for the first time, when she was like 9 years old, right? And then just 7 years later, she's on the same team at the Olympics with Peekaboo, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But one of the things I thought was really interesting that Lindsay talked about was that in that meeting where she had Peekaboo sign her poster that she still has framed on her wall in her home today, Peekaboo had such a huge impact on her life. But then in the same event, there was another Olympic athlete that was like super rude to her and just brushed her off, like wouldn't even sign an autograph. And so Lindsay took that encounter, both of those encounters in the same night, and really it defined how she encounters young fans today and what she thinks about. So, and then here she is, creating this documentary, not only about
Yeah.
her idol, but also her eventual teammate. So it's
Yeah.
interesting how things come full circle, and how just a small moment like signing a poster for a young fan can be so pivotal, right?
Exactly. And you know what? And Lindsay also talks about just the glass ceilings that she broke for, the women's ski team and really kind of started leading the charge. And it shows them, it shows the 2002 Olympics where Lindsay, I think, is like 17, and Julie Mancuso is also on that team. And Lindsay says, and it's so funny, like how Lindsay, totally being the younger skier, just remembers every interaction. And she goes, I remember at the 2002 Olympics, I asked you I was trying to get some advice from you. And you said, look, I look for the fall line. So Lindsay remembers every one of those moments where, Pikup was like, oh, I said what? Like, I can't remember that time, really. But, great full circle story. And it's super cool to see. And then speaking of documentaries, that 5-part documentary that's out on Michaela Schifrin, they've released another part of that. And that was part 3 last Tuesday. And then tomorrow they're going to release part 4. And then part 5 won't come out until after the Olympics. So just a little extra things to watch to kind of give you a little background on these racers.
Right, not only background but just build that excitement, and especially with our hometown girls, right? Like,
Yeah.
so cool to see to see Michaela's success and to know a little bit more about it. And man, I mean, I know we've all been through a lot in the last 2 years, but girl has been through a lot.
Yes.
So to see just her mentality and how she approaches things, really really incredible. So yeah, Outside Plus, they have some really really cool things to get you inspired and fired up before the Olympics.
Okay, well, I'm going to help you can get fired up and maybe find a fire
Yeah.
down in Lion's Head. So, yeah, we're going to let Ashley go and get moving and get rolling around here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have your headlines, the traffic report, and a lot more. So, stay with us on Vail Valley Live.
In the extraordinary, we're free to discover more together. Experience it for yourself this winter. Get your lift tickets today.
Get more information at VailYetiHockey.com. Go Yeti!
Vail Valley Live outerwear provided by Skea Limited.
All right, I want to thank Vail Mountain Coffee and Tea for fueling our adventures this morning. You could stop by. They have 2 locations, one right on your way to lift number 6, Centennial at Beaver Creek. You can find it right by the escalators. Also, their Roastery Cafe, beautiful storefront, that's located on your way to Minturn. And I love these cups because they keep the cup. Like, my hands aren't like, oh, it's so hot. And I always think, oh, maybe my tea is cold. No, it's not. It's just so well insulated. So pick up one of these if you want as well. I'm doing a lot with honey these days because I learned all about honey from Nap Ranch, but that's a whole nother topic. Hey, but what made headlines on this last day of January? Here we go. It's Sunday Fun Day. Skiers cruise down the slope Sunday outside Vail Mountain near Vail. More snow is expected later this week. This picture taken by Chris Dillman from the Vail Daily. And also in today's news, Golden Peak's big debut. Vail's recent terrain expansion receives rave reviews from ski racers on its international giant slalom debut over the weekend. So a pair of races were held, and they were the first giant slaloms to use this new feature. So learn more about this on page A3. Also in the time machine, 50 years ago, locals talked preparations for the 1976 Olympics. Now, Colorado, Denver, was the only city in modern day history of the Olympic Games to decline the games. So you can learn a little bit about that on page A2. And then also in today's paper, we're taking a look at sustainable film series. It explores water conservation. So this is going to be tomorrow night, Tuesday, 6:30, over at the Riverwalk Theater in Edwards. It's free, and you can check out what the movie's all about at walkingmountains.org. And then also in the arts and entertainment section, we have local Raj Madakam. He is our local photographer. He was selected for the Art of the State exhibition. Raj's got a great story. He's got a full-time job and everything, and this is his hobby. But some of his pictures are just amazing. And some of the things that he does to create the looks that he can put together, such as this one here. Really neat to see this Colorado National Monument with the different colors that he's put in there. That's on B2. And then we mentioned the Villar Center. A lot of things going on there this week. And we've got John Oates, of course, of the Hall & Oates duo. He's going to be playing, but he's got Guthrie Trapp with him coming in from Nashville. And they're going to talk about songwriting, the art behind that. So get pumped up for that show, because he'll be coming to the Villar on Thursday. Really cool to see John Oates. I believe he lives over in the Roaring Fork Valley, so he's been a mountain guy for a while now, since his big career in the 80s. But it'd be cool to see him. So that's on page B3. So all these stories and more can be found in your Vail Daily today, or go online. VailDaily.com will give you these details, breaking news alerts, traffic alerts, and a lot more. And speaking of traffic, here's what's going on with the roadways today. You can see really clear. We had the sunshine all weekend long. Really, the only thing you had to worry about was traffic yesterday, driving back home to the Front Range and to the airports. But right now, things are moving smoothly. Now, we could see some of that snow, according to Open Snow, on Wednesday, kind of Tuesday night into Wednesday, lingering into Thursday. So that's when things could get tricky. But right now, just make sure you have the windshield wiper fluid topped off, because a lot of times you get that splashback during the day. And do keep in mind, things can melt during the day and refreeze overnight, especially some of those really shadowy areas in Dow Junction, over in Summit County, Officers Gulch between Copper and Frisco. Could be a little tricky as well with black ice, so always just be aware. Keep on your toes out there on the on the roadways. But let's bring it back out to Ashley and see where she's made her way. Okay, I hear the bells and whistles. What's going on down there?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, honestly, it's very quiet, other than there's been a big beer delivery to Garfinkel's.
Okay, good.
They're going to be ready to go. And also, you can see the skis that are getting set out behind me. So it does look like it's going to be a pretty busy day when it comes to at least the ski valet. And then, of course, they're getting things kind of fired up with the gondola, and you're starting to see Chair 8 turning just a little bit. Oh, and of course, we got to have some noise with some bins being moved.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not trash cans, it's bins, something noisy.
Okay.
As we go live.
Well, you know what's interesting? Ashley? Okay, so the Arabelle, you don't know this, but they have a huge garage that goes deep into the ground. And all the trucks, they do a bunch of unloading. And I remember we used to talk about how the Epic Burger, remember when the Epic Burger was brand new and really popular on the menu? And we kind of did a little story on its journey from the loading dock up the gondola line, and then on Snowcats, and then brought over to Two Elk. So I bet you they're busy, because they're just getting everything going from delivery trucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a whole underground city that you don't even see over here. It's just like a whole it's kind of, I'm sure it's probably similar to Disney. You hear about all the tunnels and how the characters can pop up in different places. For us, it's like Epic Burgers can pop up at Two Elk, and then down here in Lion's Head. But yeah, there's a lot of work that takes place each and every morning, early before the guests get here, to really get things fired up. And I think that the food is definitely a fascinating part of that, right? Because we have a lot of fully operational restaurants above 11,000 feet, and the food doesn't just magically show up there.
They got the loading docks and everything. And hey, Ashley, I don't want to let people know that we were skiing Blue Sky Basin last week, And we thought, oh, we'll go up to Bell's Camp and get something to eat because they have just those little snacks. Well, they don't have it this year. So pack snacks because we were like, we were like crashing, sugar crash, But so just keep in mind that some places that you normally would find food aren't doing it this year. And Bell's Camp is one of them. So plan ahead for that.
That's good news for me because I like my snacks, Trisha. I don't I don't like bonking, especially when you're that far back, Like you got a ways to go to get to the front of the mountain. So
Yeah. My friend was really crashing, and I'm like, okay, I'll find you the fastest way down to a restaurant. So we found that. But hey, we were talking a little bit about that Michaela Schifrin documentary, the 5-part series that's out, and that's on Outside Plus, and the new part 4 comes out tomorrow. So we're gonna give you a little taste of kind of what this is all about. Michaela kind of followed her for about 4 months in late 2021. And here's a little bit about a glimpse into this amazing athlete's life.
Give us a sense of the man that your dad was.
Oh my gosh.
I just want to understand.
He would ask my brother and me, what are the golden rules? Be nice, think first, have fun. He thought fun was working really hard for something that you want and making it happen. I wish I could hear him say that again.
Looking good for Michaela Schifrin's return to the top of the podium.
Schifrin back in the game, back on top of a World Cup race as well.
Because I did something and pursued a dream that I love, I lost a lot of time with my dad. Oh my God. I've had the thought of stopping almost every single day.
So there you have it, just a snippet of the 5-part series about Michaela Schifrin, who does reside here in the Valley. She kind of grew up in the Eagle Vail area, has a beautiful home now in Edwards, isn't here that often, just simply because she's traveling so much and touring, especially during the winter months when they are during the White Circus, as they call it, as they're around the world skiing on the highest peaks. But we're going to let you know how to watch that. So Outside Television, they have Outside TV Plus, so it's Outside Plus. And if you're a member of that, you get all sorts of different perks throughout the year. I know when the Warren Miller movies were coming out, Warren Miller movie came out this fall. That was a fun thing that you had a perk to see. But if you want to learn more, just go to Outside TV, just Google that, and then it'll let you know how you can get access to these great documentaries on her. It's this whole series, 5 parts. Part 4 comes out tomorrow, and then part 5 will come out after the Olympics. And I do believe Outside TV, which is Channel 17 here in the Vail Valley on Comcast, they will be having the series out for 30 days, kind of starting around now during the Olympic month. So I know February doesn't have 30 days, but kind of probably by tomorrow they'll have that. But check out Outside TV for more information. But that's a quick look at what's going on with the documentary world. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with your weather and mount report after this.
Xterra, apparel for your active lifestyle. Visit xterraplanet.com today. Enter the promo code CHECK20 at checkout for an extra 20% off regularly priced merchandise.
Maui Jim sunglasses were born on the beaches of Hawaii, designed to respond to the bright sun and harsh glare of the islands, all while enhancing the view. After 30 years, we're still independently owned, and the free-thinking Hawaiian spirit that first inspired us is still a part of everything we do. Our Polarized Plus 2 lenses not only protect eyes from harmful rays, they also make colors more vivid and contrast crisper. Try on a pair and see for yourself. The view's better from here.
Hi, we are the ski injury attorneys at Block and Chapleau. If another skier or snowboarder hits you from behind and injures you, you are entitled to monetary compensation. Remember, the downhill skier has the right of way. The uphill skier has to avoid skiers below.
You need to call an attorney to protect your rights. It's important to preserve the evidence immediately. If you've been injured on the slopes, call Block and Chapleau today at 970-926-1700. We've been helping injured skiers and snowboarders in Colorado for over 30 years. Block and Chapleau has offices in the Vail Valley, Frisco, and Denver to serve you.
Your case is our priority. Call us at 970-926-1700 or go to vailjustice.com.
This weather and mountain report is brought to you by Betteridge. Fine jewelry and watches with exceptional service since 1897, located in Solaris.
All right, yeah, Betteridge located in Solaris, so check that out if you're looking for some fabulous jewelry and estate jewelry and cool watches. But I was just checking the temperatures around the Vail Valley. Eagle, 1 below. We're looking at Edwards at 1 below as well, and Avon 5 above. So almost doing a little morning dip here. And Vail, we're coming in at about 11 degrees right now. But our high is going to be into the upper 30s and plenty of sunshine. So really similar to what we saw over the weekend, except today we're going to see the wind. So the wind could be gusting as high as 30 miles per hour by this afternoon. So even though the temperature, and this is base village temperature, not the temperature up the top of the mountain. So I'd probably pack the neck gaiter because it will feel a little bit cooler with that wind, because we hardly had any wind yesterday or on Saturday, which made for really, really nice days. But I was saying this morning, I saw that those red skies with the sunrise this morning. So red skies at night, sailors delight. Red skies in morning, sailors take warning. We don't have to worry about the sea, but it's just kind of a little, I don't know, whatever you call those little sayings, but it could mean we'll get some wind throughout the day. And then for your Tuesday, we're going to see a chance of snow showers, and then that'll roll into Wednesday. Wednesday, we're going to see about an 80% chance of showers. And for Wednesday, Joel Gratz from Open Snow is saying we could maybe get 5 inches over at Beaver Creek, 4 over at Vail. So this is our next big chance for some snow. And I think it's going to be more of an upslope, which means that Denver, the Front Range, the foothills, they could see the brunt of this instead of here up in the Rockies. But we've got 97% of Vail open for you, and pretty much all your lifts, all your terrain is open. We were using that Epic Mix app that gives the lift times. That was really helpful this weekend. And as predicted, Gandhi 1, Eagle Bond Gondola, those are busiest in the mornings. And then all the migration from Lion's Head over to 2, over to Midvale, over to 11. If you can kind of do reverse crowd mentality on some of those days, make a few laps maybe on Pride Express instead of going straight over to 2 if you're starting from Lion's Head. Or if you can kind of avoid, maybe go over to 10, take chair 6 up, or even on Express, take the midway point, go to 10, there's never a line at 10, pop over to 14, and then get back to the back bowls that way. There's a lot of different ways to navigate the mountain. You just have to learn a few things and have a few little tricks up your sleeve. But right now we want to take a look at what's happening over at Beaver Creek. So Beaver Creek had a full weekend of activities. Helmut Fricker playing music yesterday. Tonight we're going to have Apollo's Fire at the Villar. And I was just reading a little bit about this, and classical music, and they were named after the classical god of sun and music, Apollo. They're Grammy-winning orchestra, and they really bring the spirit of Baroque performance with Baroque period instruments, and they're going to be playing Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and it should just be an awesome, awesome show tonight. So that is going to be at 7 p.m. Tickets still available for this. Check this out. You're never disappointed, I think, at the Valor Performing Arts Center. Just a great place to go see a show. And then also this week, we have a lot of things happening with our different street performers, street entertainers, if you will. Helmut Fricker once again was yesterday. He'll be coming back on Wednesday between 3 and 5. Complimentary caricatures with Ken Carpenter. This will be happening tomorrow from 4 to 6. And this is all down by the ice rink. Well, Helmut kind of roams around a little bit, but you usually find him and his alpenhorn and the accordion. Just follow your ears to the music. And then the ice rink is open every day to the public for skating, 1 to 8. And then before and after they open to the public, they have the ice bikes for rent. So 2 sessions between 12 and 1, a half hour each. And then between 8 and 9, also a half hour each. So it's kind of neat to have the whole ice rink to yourself. There's only a total of 4 ice bikes. And you can kind of cruise around, and it's basically like kind of a mountain bike on a platform. Your front wheel is a blade, and then your back wheel is kind of like a studded snow tire. So that's what propels you through. And you're pedaling just like you're on a beach cruiser. Really a lot of fun. So that could be an idea of ways to continue to wear yourself out for the week. If your kids aren't tired, hey, get them out on the ice bikes, and they'll be sleeping like a baby by the time it's all said and done. Over at Beaver Creek, we are open with 92% of the train, 156 trails out of 169. So pretty much everything except, like maybe Stone Creek Chutes. I know Royal Elk Glade is open for you. 24 out of 25 lifts are open as well. So no new snow report at either mountain, just because we've had those beautiful sunny days since Saturday. So, but let's take it outside to Ashley. She's standing by in line, said this morning, oh, and you've got the ice rink over there. That's such a pretty place.
Yes, this is the Alderhof ice rink. And so it opens around 4 o'clock, but for adults, it's $20 to rent your skates, and you can skate to your heart's content all afternoon. And then for the kids, it's $15. So that includes your rental and getting out on the ice. And I mean, what a beautiful spot, right? It's just, it's so opulent here at the Arabelle. And, just walking around this morning, you have the gondola in the background running. You have people kind of starting to wake up and go grab that morning cup of coffee. But, Trish, I wanted to talk about opulence for just a second. There's so many different ways to describe it. And I think that probably, we typically look at architecture when it comes to opulence. But sometimes in the mountains, it's the things that you can't see that are the most luxurious. And one of those happens to be the job of altitude control technologies. If you've ever struggled with sleeping in the altitude, maybe you've had guests that have come up from sea level and they've had a hard time, this could be your solution. And it's something that once you do, you don't even think about it, you don't even see it, but we're going to send things over to them to find out more.
A good night's sleep is important, but it's a little more difficult up at altitude in our beautiful Rocky Mountain towns. Here to tell us more about it, we have Gary Hansen, and he's with Altitude Control Technologies. You guys are actually based out of Edwards, Colorado, but we're at a beautiful home in Breckenridge learning about this technology. So let us know how we can get a better night's sleep with Altitude Control Technology.
Sure. First, I'll tell you what we do is called altitude simulation, which basically is adding oxygen to bedrooms to bring the altitude down so that you don't suffer from altitude sickness symptoms. We've been in business for over 20 years. We do work with Harvard Medical School, the Mayo Clinic, the United States Air Force Academy, the Navy,
Olympic centers around the world.
All around the world, professional athletic teams. And so we've been doing systems in the mountains for About 8 years or so, and we
Okay.
have hundreds of them.
Oh yeah, you know what? You think about Vail at what, 8,100 feet, Breckenridge 9,600. You know, some of these homes that are up on the mountains, up in Bachelor Gulch or Cordillera.
Sure.
You know, I can imagine this. The word is getting out about this, and people are wanting to have this technology in their home. How do we do it in the home? Like what goes on?
So what we do is we put our system somewhere other than the bedrooms. We only oxygenate bedrooms because that's when you need it the most when you're sleeping. And we put our system somewhere other than the bedroom, like a garage or a crawl space. And then we pipe the oxygen to the bedrooms. We don't want you to hear or see anything in these bedrooms, and hopefully we'll show you that. And so the system takes air in from outside, splits up the oxygen and the nitrogen. We send the nitrogen back out of the house and the oxygen to the bedrooms.
Okay.
And we increase the oxygen levels by about 30% to simulate an altitude that's close to sea level.
Okay, and then we just have something like a little panel where we can watch what's going on.
We do. We have a controller, and we're really the only company that has a controller with dual sensors, and the sensors monitor the oxygen saturation, the barometric pressure, and the CO2 in the room constantly, because you don't want to get too much oxygen in a room or you violate the National Fire Protection Code. But you want to make sure you're getting enough to actually get a physiological benefit from it.
Okay, what's the response been?
It's been very good. We have references from all around the world. We actually have systems in South America, China, Europe, but most of the ski towns and high mountain towns in the West, we have systems in all of them, and we have people that tell us all the time, I'm only able to stay here because of your system.
Yeah, definitely. And getting that good night's sleep, feeling good, attacking the mountain, going skiing or hiking or biking the next day is very important. Okay, if we want to learn more, what's the best source? Do you guys have a website for us?
We do. It's www.act-o2.com.
Okay, if you want to learn more, give them a call.
In the extraordinary, we're free to discover more together. Experience it for yourself this winter. Get your lift tickets today.
Winter is coming, and you can enjoy every minute with Outside Plus, your membership to the outdoors. Whether you're exploring the backcountry or your local trails, Outside Plus has you covered. With expert advice on gear, product discounts, premium access to Outside TV and the Gaia GPS app, and inspiring content delivered from the most respected names in the outdoors. Become an Outside Plus member today to get free tickets and VIP access to this year's Warren Miller film. Join at warrenmiller.com/Outside Plus.
Vail Valley Live outerwear provided by Skea Limited.
This Weather and Mountain Report is brought to you by Live Sotheby's International Realty, Colorado's leading real estate firm. Contact their Vail Valley broker professionals today to help you live the life you love.
All right, I want to give you some details on the weather. If you're just getting up this morning, it is a chilly one out there. It's beautiful. The sun is getting higher in the sky. The days are getting a little longer. But over in Vail, it's 11 degrees. It feels like 0. And yes, I think if we asked Ashley, she would say it feels like 0. Eagle is looking at 3 below. Edwards 1 above, and Avon 5 above right now. So that's kind of what's happening on the valley floor. And for today, we're to see these temperatures reach into the upper 30s. So it won't take long, you know, just maybe a couple hours from now, even by about 10:30, 11, it's going to feel a lot different as soon as that sun gets a little lower into the valley floor. You can see just at the top of Line Said right now. But overnight low will drop back down into the teens. And then today, we're also going to see the winds. We're going to see winds gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. So I definitely would wear the neck gaiter today. Might be good to put a windproof layer. Sometimes when you're wearing a down jacket, that wind can get through it. So maybe either a shell over it, just have an insulating layer in your shell, or you can get kind of those tops, like they're like a windstopper layer that you put over your fleece, and that'll keep you a bit warmer out there as well. And then for the next couple of days, we could start to see some snow as early as Tuesday into Wednesday and lingering just kind of late Wednesday night. But then by Thursday, sunshine and another predicted weekend of sunny skies, at least right now for the weekend. How cool is that? We get the snow during the week and then these beautiful sunny skies on the weekend. Just awesome to be able to take your friends out there if you're visiting. I had some friends here. They were in from Denver, and we had a great day on Saturday, just cruising all around some of the groomers on Vail Mountain. And pay attention to the crawl. We do have Vail's groomer for you. And Beaver Creek just posted their groomers, so it's not something that we can put in the crawl right now. But hey, if you've got a question, put it in the chat. If you're like, hey, was Cresta groomed? Hey, guess what? It was. In fact, it's the groomer's choice, because things that are groomed after midnight on Beaver Creek are listed under groomer's choice. So that's kind of a cool thing that they do over there. But let's bring it outside to Ashley. She is over in line, said she's been all over. Oh, look at that sun. I can still see your breath. I know it's still cold.
Yeah.
That's helping.
There's one sliver of sun that has reached the valley floor here in Lionshead. So I found it. I'm standing in it, and
Yes.
I'm really enjoying it, because you're right. It does feel like it is about 0 degrees, even though we're in the single digits. Yep, finding the sun is really, really nice. It's a significant difference from that shade. So
Yeah.
thank you, sunshine.
Okay, perfect. And we open at 8:30. What's the activity look like down there?
Yeah, so you can start to see, like, just behind me, where, people are kind of walking past with their ski boots on. They're making their way to the lift, and then we have some of the instructors meeting up with their private clients. We have all the guys, lining up the skis at the ski valet. So it's starting to get a little bit more active. This is kind of, it seems like once we pass that 8 o'clock mark, people come out of hiding. And I think also now that the sun is actually hitting the valley floor, it makes that a little bit more inviting as well. But, Trisha, I wanted to talk a little bit about, especially when we have these temperatures that are below 0 in the evenings and it gets pretty chilly. I mean, we have a lot of people coming to visit from across the country that are not used to these temperatures. And so, of course, having things planned for the evening that don't necessarily involve being outside or on a deck, so important to have as part of your trip. And I think one of the coolest places to go is the Vail Performing Arts Center, which, I mean, you were talking about this earlier. We have, Mr. Oates that's going to be, they're here shortly. But, they have such an incredible lineup. But I have to say, like, they stack it up, right? Like, their season is extensive. So it's kind of hard to, like, actually keep up with what they have going on and what's coming up. But thankfully, we have you on our squad, as well as Ruthie, to actually give us the full rundown of what to expect and what's coming up next. So, Trisha, we're going to send things over to you and to Ruthie to find out more about what we can expect at the Vail Performing Arts Center.
We're just steps away from the Vail Performing Arts Center. We're right near the ice rink on the plaza level of Beaver Creek. We're just an escalator away from all the entertainment. Ruthie, what's coming up?
Well, we have a ton coming up. On Monday, we have Apollo's Fire. We've had them before. They had to come back because we love them. They are playing Bach and Vivaldi.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a wonderful program. It's appealing for, if you're lay classical lover or you're astute classical lover. So.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is even if you haven't heard of this or you're not quite familiar with the music, just go to a show. Any show is fantastic at the Vail Center with the setting right there, but I think you can really appreciate just being right there in front of the artists and hearing this music live.
Yes, and this orchestra is just, they have won every award you can imagine. I mean, they are the world-renowned Baroque orchestra that we have right here.
Okay.
Right below the ice rink.
All right, so that's going to be on Monday. And then John Oates. Yeah. And doesn't he live over in Aspen?
Yes, so John Oates lives in Aspen, so he's coming over on the 3rd.
From Hall & Oates, as many of us know.
Yeah, and he's going to do a really intimate show for us, and he's going to tell a lot of the stories behind the songs, which I always like to hear, like, how did you come up with the lyrics for all these hit songs?
Oh, so many hits.
Yeah, that are just staples in our songbook. So.
And then he's welcoming another performer on the stage with him.
He's bringing a Nashville guitarist who's played with literally like Dolly Parton, Vince Gill, everyone you can imagine. And so he's a guitarist out of Nashville, who will join him on stage, Guthrie Trapp.
Okay, all right. So that's going to be on the 3rd.
Yeah.
All right. So just pretty much any night of the week, you're going to find something cool at the Valar. Our website is a good idea.
Yes.
Should we check it out?
Yep. Check out our website. It has all the upcoming events, all of the info you might need. It lists the pre-show. There's a great pre-dinner special going on in the village. So that's valarpac.org.
Okay. Box office is just downstairs, or check out the website.
Huh. Is that true? Geico's been saving folks money for 85 years?
Yep, that's right.
Wait, so if Geico's 85, that makes you...
Are you asking if I'm 85 years old?
I mean, sea turtles live to be 150, so... No, I was not.
Do I look 85?
What? No! You look young. You look young for however old you are.
Geico, saving people money for 85 years.
Welcome to the club.
What's going on?
Get your arms up.
Hours of operation, whenever you need to feel good. The club has no dress code.
You got this.
No rules of decorum. Pets are allowed.
Now we're squat jumping up a storm. Quick.
You don't have to show your card at the door.
Breathe naturally.
There is no door to the club. There is no ceiling. And if you have 10 minutes,
Come on.
20, 30, and if you're wearing one of these, let's go.
Look your best with fashions from the outlets at Silverthorne. Mountains of brands to suit your style with savings up to 70% off every day. Don't forget to pick up a VIP savings card from the Colorado Welcome Center for even more discounts. Become an Elite Rewards member and earn amazing gifts. Outlets at Silverthorne, located 30 minutes east of Vail, exit 205 on I-70.
This Weather and Mountain Report is brought to you by Carrots Jewelers, creating heirlooms for over 50 years.
All right, we are back. Here's our last look at the weather. If you're just waking up, if you're just tuning in, you can always tune in with us, of course, on Roku and Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or podcast on Spotify. So you can watch us even after we go off the air right around 8:30. But here's a live shot of Lion's Head, and you can see people making their way to the lifts, maybe to work, maybe to breakfast this morning. And pay attention to the crawl at the bottom of the screen. That is showing you what has been groomed on Vail Mountain. And I just saw them update the Beaver Creek tracker for what they have groomed in the last 24 hours. We don't get it early enough. They don't post it by the time we need it for our show. So, hey, if you've got a question, you're wondering what's been groomed, put it in our chat. Oh, there it is. Okay, so what I think is cool about this is that what they do is the groomer's choice is what's been groomed after midnight. So a lot of times this would be the freshest of the fresh. You can almost smell that diesel fuel from the snowcat. But we got Cresta, Little Brave, Redtail, and then Beaver Creek Expressway upper and lower that takes you kind of from the Weston and the Beaver Creek Express lifts over to Larkspur. And then, of course, Larkspur lower and upper, and Primrose over to Strawberry Park would be a good one for you today, too. Those are the groomer's choice on Beaver Creek. But we're going to see, temperature-wise, reaching into the 30s. After we get out of the single digits and the low teens, we're looking at 3 below an Eagle right now, Edwards at 1, Avon at 5, and then Vail, the warmest. And that's a true inversion going on, because usually Vail is going to be colder than our lower elevations, but just kind of a temperature phenomenon. 38 for the high today. We're going to see some wind come through as well, maybe gusting up to about 30 miles per hour, which will be different than what we had over the weekend. Over the weekend, wasn't it just so gorgeous? You could just stand in the middle of the slopes, gaze out at the Gore Range, or maybe out at the Mount of the Holy Cross. No wind, but today we will have the wind. So just be aware of that and pack for it, dress for it. And then the next couple of days look like this. Our chance for storms comes in kind of Tuesday into Wednesday. So Tuesday, snow showers likely, mainly after 3 p.m., then mostly cloudy, winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and then chance of precipitation on Tuesday is 60%, but snow accumulation less than 1 inch possible. And then Tuesday night, we roll into more of a chance of some accumulation, maybe 1 to 2 inches. And then Wednesday, we could we'll see that bump up to 80% snow. And then Wednesday night, we'll see that continue. And then by Thursday, it all clears out. So when it's all said and done, going to open snow, maybe 5, 6, 7 inches at the Beeve, 5 over at Vail. And then, like we mentioned, the terrain, we're almost 97% open on Vail Mountain. Pay attention to the crawl at the bottom of your screen. Those are all the groomed runs in the last 24 hours at Vail Mountain. No new snow to report, of course, since we've had abundant sunshine the last couple of days, but there's a look at your weather and mount report. But let's check in with Ashley again. She's standing by at the base, and still such a gorgeous day. I can hear that snow. I can hear the squeaky snow.
Oh, it's very squeaky for sure. And Trisha, it really is like once we hit 8 o'clock, all of a sudden everything came to life.
Yes.
And you can see, there's very minimal lines forming. And also, there's people that are, just kind of like cruising back and forth. And that with skiing, that it's just as much about fashion as it is about your skills on the mountain. And when you look good, you feel good, even if maybe your skills still need like a little bit of work. And I think a lot of times, when people come to Vail especially, they want to fit in. They want to feel like they're locals. They want to get that fashion right because obviously, ski fashion is so different than like wearing your flip-flops in Florida, as I learned brutally when I first moved out here. Cotton is not your friend. Didn't know that until way into my first season. But Trisha, I think one of the most beautiful companies that we have that was started right here in Vail that really, especially for the women, helps you kind of capture the whole look is Skea. And of course, I'm a little bit biased. I am wearing one of their amazing creations right now, but they've been in business now for 50 years. It started back in 1972, and they just create some really beautiful details in each one of their pieces. So they're not only gorgeous, but they're functional, and they're a local company. Why wouldn't you want to go to the locals to make sure you nail the local look, right? So we're going to send things over to Skea to find out a little bit more about this historic, gorgeous brand that's going to help you look and feel your best on the mountain.
Front of Pepe's, and they've been selling Skea since day one. Joining me now, we have Diane Boyer, whose family started this women's ski clothing brand, but it's not just ski clothing, it's a lot more. But let's talk about this history. What a great relationship that you guys have had with Pepe and Shaika.
We have known Pepe and Shaika since we started in business in 1972. They came to our booth and bought from us the very first year. I was in 10th grade. Oh my God. And it's so wonderful, and they're wonderful people, and they are the heart and soul of Vail.
Definitely. And you know what? And that's what's so neat is that, a local ski wear company and then a local ski shop. You can find it at a few other shops, of course, Christie Sports and then Base Mountain Sports in Beaver Creek. But to have that relationship for so long, and what's really neat is throughout the years and throughout the decades, you really know how to design for the Skea woman.
Exactly. And the Skea woman or girl or lady or whatever is somebody who just loves the mountains and loves skiing. Sure, she looks great sitting having a lovely glass of wine. She also looks great ripping forever or going up, I don't know, China Bowl and dropping off into something because Skea works. And that's what's so cool. A lot of locals wear Skea.
Yeah.
And it's when a sunny, cold day like today comes out, the Skea is out.
Yeah.
It's out on the slopes and everybody's hitting the slopes in their Skea. I saw a picture a girl had posted and she had on a jacket that Pepe's carries this year. It's black with the fuchsia stripe and fuchsia fur.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm rocking it. And I'm like, whoa. It makes me so happy when I see people like that because they truly love the mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what we say? If our health is the new wealth, which it is.
Yes.
Then we who live here in the mountains are the wealthiest people in the entire world.
We definitely are. And you know what? And you need things that are going to help you with, like it was really cold this morning. It was about 9 degrees this morning. So something that's going to be warm and functional and fashionable is going to get you out there. Now, you work with a lot of different designers and even, switch things up each year. What inspires you? Like, because I can't believe it. You guys have been doing this since 1972 and you have to come up with new designs each year.
It's funny. We are inspired by artists. We're inspired by travel. One time I took my daughter to base camp of Everest and we were inspired by the Khumbu region and lots of rock carvings. And that was our print that year.
I remember that year.
Remember that?
Yes.
And then this year, Our inspiration was from two artists, one who did an Aloha watercolor print, which is exclusive for us.
Yep.
And another one who did another art print. And it's so fun. You get the idea and then you expand on it from there and then find the other colors of the season that work with the print. So like your fuchsia jacket can work with my print. It can work with another print. Other, you know, a beautiful turquoise and orange, anything goes. And that's what's fun. And on the other side of our line, we do like a Tahitian pearl, dark taupe, and black and navy and white, and really conservative, very sophisticated colors, which are great depending on where you are. But I happen to be partial to the pretty colors.
I know, I do too. It makes me happy. I love looking at these colors and wearing them as well. This bubblegum pink is just awesome. It's just awesome. I love it. I love it. And the base layers to go with it as well. And you know, it's not just what to wear on the slopes. You also have some streetwear, whether it's, you know, the quarter length jacket and the hood, and you're just going from, you know, the parking structure to dinner. You're going to stay warm and you're going to look fabulous.
Exactly. It's so fun. And thanks, Trish. But, you know, we do have a piece this year which is a one-size-fits-all shawl / pullover in black and in taupe and in gray, and it looks great going out to dinner. You know, it's fun.
Awesome.
It's super fun. So it's nice to be happy when you're wearing Skea.
Oh, I don't see how you can not be happy not wearing Skea. Okay, perfect. So Diane, thanks so much. And once again, we're in front of Pepe's. They sell it at Christie Sports. They also sell it as Base Mountain Sports over in Beaver Creek, and then online, of course. But if you can come on in and shop in one of our local stores, we'd love that too. Start the new year out right with Nap Harvest. Mushrooms have been named the top ingredient of the year by the New York Times, and we have them in all shapes and sizes. Honey continues to be a hot topic for health, so stock up with Nap's nectars. Nap Harvest, your indoor farmers market, open 7 days a week.
Treat your dog to delicious, nutritious dog food. Specialty items and high-quality gear for dogs who love to get outside and play. Do-it-yourself dog washing and grooming services now available. Mountain Canine, the dog-friendliest shop in the Vail Valley.
The owner of this Apple Watch has taken a hard fall and is not responding to their watch. The emergency location is latitude 47.7, longitude -117.5 with an estimated search radius of 41 meters. This message will repeat in 5 seconds.
All right, we're about ready to wrap up the show. Want to remind you, hey, if you want to connect with us, stay in touch with us, make sure you subscribe to our new Vail Valley Live YouTube page. So just search in your search engine, Vail Valley Live. This will come up. You can watch us on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe. You can also still watch us on Facebook, and then we're on demand on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. We're also a podcast on Spotify. And if you have Comcast cable here in the Vail Valley, we're on TV 17 outside television, channel 17 on the dial. So you can put that on. If you're using your phone for something else or your laptop for something else, you can put us on in the background. Still keep in touch with the weather and the headlines and different things that are happening today. But let's bring in Ashley right now. She's been standing by at the base of Lion's Head. And that gorgeous bridge. Oh, now you're on the other deck. Okay. We've been doing a deck tour.
Yes. I am. This is El Sabor. So if you're looking for some great margaritas and tacos for a little, little lunch, little après, look at this beautiful spot, right? Like you see Gore Creek running right behind you. And then you can see all the skiers coming across the bridge at the end of the day. So definitely a great place to just soak up the sunshine and have a few drinks.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? When you're just coming across that skier bridge, you just hang a left. It's like you can just ski right up to the stairs on the deck right there. You don't get any closer.
Almost like, it's kind of like a little secret though, like, cause it's one of those things, if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. And you might think it's just part of, the Lions Square Lodge, but it's not. It's open to the public, and it's kind of like one of our best kept little margarita secrets, except for now, obviously, like we all know about it because I'm
Okay. You spilled the beans. Well, and you know what? Ty Diaz was in there doing a story. I think, even though they're kind of more of a Mexican food place, they've got great burgers and their happy hours are awesome. And I think they do the happy hour every day. So it is a secret. We're letting it out right now. But hey, Ashley, we have a little bit of chat. And Dan Elliott said it was 25 here yesterday, but back into the 70s today. I mean, I know we complain about the cold weather, but at least we have the clothing for it. Like some of those people, especially if you're on vacation and you go down there and you're like, what? Like, I'm going to buy a fleece at the store.
Yeah. Yeah, 25 is cold for Florida.
really
Dang,
cold for
Dan,
Florida.
I don't remember it being 25 when I lived there. Like,
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
that is legit.
Is the price of orange juice going to go up because the oranges, they're the hard freeze? Like, are we going to hear about that now in the news? So for your Monday, one thing I want to remind people is that Walking Mountains over at the Avon campus, they have a daily tour, almost daily. It's Mondays through Saturdays, so 2 to 3 p.m. Rachel, who's running the controls behind the computer here, we were talking during the break about snowshoeing and just having someplace to go, and really any trail that you love to hike on during the summer can easily be snowshoed, or even if you don't have the snowshoes, get the yak tracks and go on up there. Do you have any favorite trails that you would recommend?
Oh gosh, when it comes to snowshoeing, honestly, I feel like Walking Mountains is so great, right? Especially if you're going to be new to the area because they do guided tours, so you can feel confident, going out and kind of exploring the backcountry. And then, honestly, Trisha, one of the things I look most forward to is the snowshoe series up at Beaver Creek, and they do one a month. So they already did the one in January. They have another one coming up in February, and then another one in March. But you get to see different parts of the mountain, and then they also have their Nordic area up at McCoy Park in addition to the 2 new lifts and the 17 runs available. So if you haven't been up there before, it's really beautiful to be able to snowshoe at a high elevation, right? Because a lot of times our trails will wind along the river, or they'll be a little bit, lower and closer to the valley floor. But, to be able to get up to the top of Beaver Creek and see those views, stunning. So that would definitely be a favorite.
Okay, yep. So yeah, we've got the next snowshoe series up at Beaver Creek on February 20th, so we can do that. And then tonight, Apollo's Fire, Baroque music, even some Baroque instruments. It's really going to be interesting. And what's really neat about this is they try to make it so accessible. We've got reserved seating, which of course $78, but students just $10. And then this performance actually qualifies for the buy 3, get 1 free ticket offer, or pay your age. If you're between the ages of 19 and 30, you can go to this show by paying your age. So it's really fun and some creative ways that the Valar uses to draw more people in and, make it more accessible.
That's really cool. And actually, Trisha, I was reading a book about brain health the other day, and apparently Baroque music is something that if you want to learn and retain information, if you study to Baroque music, it can actually help you with that. How crazy is that?
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, that's it's the recommended study music. So if you have some things you're learning on your New Year's list, maybe you're learning a new language, maybe you need to, go over some things to really boost your business, put on some Baroque music in the background. Apparently there's all kinds of Spotify playlists that have it. So check into it.
Okay, your tip of the day from Ashley. All right, we give you ski tips. We also give you study and brain health tips on the show. All right, Ashley, thank you so much for braving the cold this morning. We're going to let you get back in the car, crank the heat, and come back. And thank you for watching this morning. And once again, if you didn't catch the whole show, hey, just watch it on demand. You could also, just rewind on YouTube and our new Vail Valley Live YouTube page. But you can always check us out anytime on demand on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and a podcast on Spotify. Now, we are only on Outside TV during the live show, so set your alarm for that tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, for your Tuesday, the first day of February.